Welcome, race fans. This is Paul Page, the voice of IndyCars. And today we're excited to present another IndyCar event brought to you by the Dark Horse IndyCar Series. From the Unzers to Mears, Foyt, and Andretti, now it's Corley, Peterson, Davies, Gardner, and Team. You can expect high speeds, incredible wheel-to-wheel action, and intense drama that you can only get in an IndyCar. So sit back and enjoy your favorite drivers from all over the world take the track. Dark Horse IndyCar drivers, start your engine.
Hello again, everyone. Happy Sunday, and I'm Gary Gotzo. Welcome to RaceVerse coverage of Round 9 of Season 7 of the Dark Horse DW12 series. Coming to you today from the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. Joining me in the booth is our driver expert, the Catalyst, Andrew Wood. So, Andrew, we talked about it in the pre-race, and I think we're going to see a lot of it again today. We're going to pick right back up where we left off at a very difficult pit entry at Motegi to another pit entry here at New Hampshire. New Hampshire racetrack itself is pretty self-explanatory, but we suspect that getting on pit road is still going to be a bit of an issue unless they've been practicing. I've seen some of them actually practicing out there for this one.
Yeah, the Motegi pit entry definitely seemed like a high banked kind of entry into the pit lane, where this one is a little more flat, so we could see some issues, but it's not really sure how these guys are going to try and maneuver that, especially after all the issues that about half the field had last week. So I think that the pit entry situation may be a question mark for a lot of these guys.
All right. We are watching the closing of qualifications here. You just see Eric Schaus there. And we should show the points here really quick and give everyone a reminder of kind of how close everything is on the points front, as we're about down to 37 seconds here, watching Matty Wagner going to make his run. Here are the points. There they are. And we'll remove the static bugs to the top 6. So Matty Wagner is our points leader. 352 to 344 over Schaus. Then Brubacher, then Teed, Stouffer, Forsyth, Peterson, Pahutsky, Murphy, and Cohn. A good number of people of those drivers are not in the lineup tonight, though. So some people looking to make a little bit of hay as we're getting ready to go racing here, as qualifying just ran out.
Yeah, Charles T is definitely picking up where he left off last week with the win at Motegi, with the pole position here tonight. So let's check out that starting lineup.
Bringing it on in now. And on the pole there is Charles Teed with a great lap of a 172.287 miles per hour. Next is Schaus. Teed, should be noted that he is the only driver in the 172 bracket. So that should be pointed out as when we get into this race. That's a pretty considerable jump versus Schaus's 171.882, although when it shows only by time, it's 0.050 of a difference over a long period of a race. That's gonna separate itself into a pretty big, if he can keep up that cushion and lead, just assuming that he continues that pace onto the racetrack and race time. Wagner third, Peterson fourth, Cohn fifth, Warren Rogers sixth. I believe this is his first race in the series. Welcome. JB in seventh, Craig Forsyth eighth, Joseph Morales ninth, Gary Lovern in 10th. And here's Mark Murphy. He didn't make the lineup. Okay, cool. Did not see him in practice, but he is lining up 11th. And do we have any others that are not lining up? I think that's it. Everybody qualified this time. Nope. Casey Pahutsky is going. He showed no time, so he's going to line up 12th.
Yeah, the New Hampshire Loudon race is all about track position. So these guys up in front are already kind of advantaged a little bit, trying to hold off the positions to the guys behind. So you're going to definitely see Eric Schaus and Matt Wagner going at it for this championship battle, which has really been lighting up the last couple of races. These guys trading positions, trading good luck, bad luck, and you have guys like Warren Rogers, Mark Cohn, who are kind of part-time drivers who have shown what they could do on these kinds of tracks. So it's going to be quite interesting how it mixes up from the top 6. Let's not forget Craig Forsyth, also P8. That's a pretty poor qualifying session from him. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him trying to make his way up front, and it'll be very interesting to see how he mixes it up in this top 6.
I suspect that he has some strategy that he's working on to get himself up there. The rule set for tonight: 90% fuel. Although
we had a bit of an incident on the start here with JB.
Oh. I'm not sure what happened.
He just kind of started rolling and then managed to slide it to the outside wall. And I think he's going to be starting for the pit lane if he starts at all.
Well, let's get the camera back on the leaders here is off of pit road, unfortunately. So we're going to...
Green flag.
And we are green and underway here.
Charles Teed with a nice run to turn 1, but Eric Schaus had a great start of the race as well, and he's going to stay there. Oh, we have a car kind of loose in the middle of 1 and 2 there. That's Mark Cohn. Keeps it gathered. I don't think anybody has hit him. And we go into the...
Murphy's already up 3 spots on the outside of everybody as they're checking up for that incident. Move Murph up to 8th. Schaus is our leader, though, as we are really packed up for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And there's Forsyth up 4 spots as well.
Quite a big shakeup here after qualifying. The start of the race with the JB incident and then the Mark Cohn sliding incident. It just depends on what side of the track you start on. Sometimes you just go into a corner normally, and next thing you know, you pick up 4 or 5 spots. So great on Craig Forsyth there. Let's see what he can do from here, from P8 on the starting grid.
Schaus, Teed, Wagner, Forsyth, Peterson, your top 5.
Ooh, I
Lovern.
think he might have caught the wall there on the exit of 4, and you're going to see Matt Wagner and Craig Forsyth go after him in turn 1.
Schaus out to a 1.1 second, 1.2 second lead now as Wagner around Teed might have, like you said, mentioned, kissed the wall. Let's take a look and see if...
We have a wreck in turn 4. Looks like Gary Lovern is into the wall.
All right, and we are cautioned, so we will take a look at the Lovern incident before. And just a little help from the inside. Ooh, that was a hard hit too. He looks like he might be able to get the car back around and get that fast repair and stay on the lead lap. That's going to really help out Yari though.
Looks like Yari might have stayed on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did, but now he'll be able to come join the field. And now everyone's coming to pit road, so that shows you the importance of tires here at this track. And that's really what a lot of these drivers are going to have to make a lot of, as we say, hay, at that time when these tires are the freshest. That's about the only time they can really make very aggressive moves on the low side.
Well, let's not forget that at the start of this race, it appeared that these drivers had a bit of a lower fuel tank. So I'm sure a lot of these guys are trying to come in and make sure that they have a full fuel tank so they can run very long. So anybody that pits now is going to run much longer than anybody that stayed out. But yeah, ooh, someone's kind of skidding on pit exit there. Looks like Murph, I believe he's going again, which is no worries there.
Coming off the button there, getting into the throttle. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there it is. Unless he wanted to make that turn onto the road course there, which I don't think he wanted to. But
yeah, these cars were set up to turn left only tonight, so I don't think any right-handed corners are going to do very well. But you mentioned that JB is now back on the lead lap, but he has lost his fast repair at this point after starting the race and then hitting the wall. So as much as he's going to want to be able to figure out how he's going to get back in this race again, he has to realize that he has no more mulligan left. There's no more chance for him to get back if he has another incident. So from here, there's a little bit more caution to be played as he comes up through this field. But at least he didn't lose the lap, which is the most important thing.
yeah, as we're just getting into the rule set as that broke loose. So we're 90% fuel, and that part of that is that those guys that just started are now refilling their tanks up to the 90% capacity. Those that did not pit, which is Schaus and Teed, they stayed out for the track position. They have started with less than 90% in the tank. If that's my understanding of how it for the driver. So they're going to have a shorter first stint than everybody else here. Well, I guess we do count that as a first stint for everyone that did come off top of those tanks, but they will have a shorter stint of racing if we continue green flag. Here we go, green again at lap 7. If any of that made sense on 175 here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Turn 1 and 2 and down the backstretch for Schaus.
Yeah, we'll quickly forget all the intricacies of the fuel tank here momentarily, especially as more than half the field has definitely done what they could to make sure that they get fully topped off. But we see Jari Bubacher is moved by Mark Cohn back here at the bottom part of the top 10, and it seems single file for the most of the top 10 here.
So this is, we're going to talk about this a lot because you and I have a lot of commonality. We raced the Dark Horse race here, so we know a lot of information that we can base a lot of our experience off that race and in these cars. They're right up in that high line again. Let's ride with Forsyth because he is up in that really kind of up in that highest line, starting the corner, kind of dips down into the middle of the corner, that third lane, and then back up to that fourth lane, exiting and entering. There you go.
A lot of these guys trying to feel out where exactly their car works, and where it doesn't work, that's the main key here in the first stint, is trying to figure out what lines you could take, what lines are more of a defensive situation. Not for Eric Schaus, though, who is taking a little bit of a lead here, substantial enough to notice that he has taken his lower fuel situation and gone out to a nice 1 second lead or so.
Here, Craig riding alongside or on top of the roll cage for him. There he is up in the fourth lane there. These cars don't like to, at full speed, work those lower lanes very well. They tend to get loose. When they have newer tires, there you see Wagner down there in the second lane, and they will operate down there until these tires really become really worn, and then you got kind of no choice to stay high. Problem with staying high is right here, corner exit. That wall comes up and greets you really, really quickly.
This is such a progressive banking sort of track where you have to kind of figure out what lanes your car wants to take on both sides of the circuit, and once you figure that out, you're instantly going to gain tenths on the car ahead of you. No matter what line they take, if you're comfortable where you're running, that's exactly what it's going to take for you to get your way towards the front.
So I was watching the very first IndyCar race here that they had back in the 90s, and Danny Sullivan was talking about the track, and he said that really each corner, while from the air and from the grandstands looks identical, they're not. And he started to explain it. And next time we get down to let's go through turns 1 and 2. Turns 1 and 2. Now it's been re-profiled a little bit since then.
Got a spin out of turn 4.
And that is Pahutski in that Will Power throwback.
Yeah, as you were describing that both sides of the track situation, I was watching Pahutski try and get a run on Eric Peterson out of turn 2, who seemed to get a little bit squirrely there, but I think Pahutski turned in a little too early and changed his trajectory through 3, which kind of left him in a tough spot for turn 4, and I think he got a little bit loose.
All right, we'll take a look here. So as Sullivan was saying, and we'll watch actually here from Pahutski's point of view, when you get to 3, it actually it profiles downhill a little bit. And I'm like, really? And yes, you can see that in the sim where turn 3, as you turn into turn 3, really kind of goes downhill a little bit. And I never knew that until really I listened to Danny talk about it. And then and there he comes, bringing this back in the round. He said, keep it off the wall.
Yeah, completely kept it off.
Speaking of Danny Sullivan, and a good recovery for him. Unfortunately, this cost him a little bit of track position.
We see Eric Schaus and Charlie T coming in now with that fuel situation. So now they're going to be at the back, but they're going to have a full fuel tank and fresh tires to battle coming up towards the front. So we should definitely keep a watch on them to see how much progress they make and what kind of moves they can actually figure out as they're trying to come through the field.
So, right, as you can see, slower here. They kind of, reprofiled the corners a little bit over time to kind of put a little bit of progressive banking into otherwise what is a completely flat racetrack. But as you see, as you come into 3 and just beyond the pace car there, you do kind of see the track fall away. And that is the downhill portion that Danny was talking about when he was talking about how he drives the racetrack. And he would say a lot of the drivers didn't like to go down low necessarily during that downhill portion because it kind of made the back end of the car light. So they would tend to stay higher in 3 and 4 versus they would be lower in 1 and 2 because lower in 1 and 2 is more, or profile. 1 and 2 is more profiled traditionally, I guess. So that was something interesting, and I found out from just kind of watching one of the early IndyCar races that the topography of the racetrack is not identical at both ends, even though it looks like it.
So Gary, you're talking about Danny Sullivan. He has a spin and win in his name. So we have Pahutski start to spin and not hit anything. Are you insinuating that Pahutski has a chance for a spin and win here? Well,
and then if you look at Mark Murphy in 3rd, he's in the Miller the Miller American there that Danny drove, or the livery that Danny drove in '85. So you know what? It's entirely in the cards. We mentioned it last week at Motegi. Mark got the win there, and he did a spin and win coming to pit road, if we remember right. So, and actually, that whole experience that he had on at Motegi last Sunday really paid off for him on Friday in the Vordy DW12 series as we're getting ready to go back to green, as he got the win in Indianapolis, and it was pretty much a green flag race for the most part. And he said that learning how to come to pit road after what happened at Motegi, he was more aware of it for Indianapolis, and that helped him immensely.
All you need is one incident to try and change your whole trajectory of how you do stuff. And sometimes it sucks when it happens because you feel like you have control of the race and then you kind of lose it after that, or feel like you could have done something better, but then you come back next race and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this again. And next thing you know, you're tons faster than everybody else that you're trying to pit around. So I definitely agree with that sentiment.
It's the old fool me once. As they say.
Maybe Yari might have caught the wall.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I was just going back to take a look at that from Eric Schaus trying to come through the field. And as we mentioned, Schaus and Teed are on a mission right now. They do not want to be sitting towards the back here for as much as they can help it. So looks like Teed has made his way up to P6, I believe, right now. As he comes very close to Yari there in turn 3 and 4. Schaus is right behind him in P8. P7, sorry.
So the problem with Yari hitting the wall is that he's already used the fast repair for whatever incident happened on pit road. So that's most unfortunate. It's going to make for a long day. Really, I crunched the numbers. This is ooh, boys.
T got very, very tight on the middle of 3 and 4 there, and somehow Gary saw it happening. That was heads-up move by Gary Lovren there to say, hey, I'm going to stay on this track. I'll lose a couple spots. It's fine. I just do not want to be a catalyst for any sort of wreck there. So nice on Gary there.
Takes one catalyst to know another catalyst, I guess. So
I did not want to use that word by any means, but that's the first one that came to mind, unfortunately.
Yeah, actually, I kind of pulled up a chart and did a real quick sort. It's like, I wonder what of course, we got the 500 coming up. That's going to be the longest race. But how does this rank in terms of race lengths? Because I saw 175 laps. And this is one of their highest lap count races of the season. But when you sort it out, this is actually their third shortest race of the season. So this will go by pretty quick as Teed is blinking in and out. We don't need any of that. And he has not come back.
I see that Murphy has definitely figured something out in turn 3 and 4 that both Wagner and Forsythe have not yet. And as you see Murph going into turn 1 underneath Forsythe, he's going to be right on his rear wing at exit. I wonder what he's going to do down here in turn 3 and 4, because I think he's figured something out in terms of the downhill sort of off-camber expectation you've been talking about.
Because once you get up to speed and these tires really start wearing out, it becomes, for the most part, a single lane, single groove racetrack at the top of the each turn. You're kind of in that fourth lane, either at the very top or that third lane or lane right below it. So you kind of wait. Sorry, you kind of wait for a mistake for the car to happen in front of you to make that pass. So go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's just so hard to complete the pass. You can get next to the person in 3 and 4, but if you keep it on the outside and you're the one making the move down low, you have to find some way to get some grip on the exit to make the run down to turn 1. And that's what Murph is going to have the hardest time doing, is trying to figure out, as they close in on Matt Wagner, the leader, I think Forsythe has reacted, and he's managed to find a way to get a little faster, which has definitely pulled the both of them towards the leader. So I wonder if Murph has to adjust a little bit to try and find some clean air to try and get the better exit. Forsythe has definitely figured it out, and now they're closing on the leader.
Well, look at the battle back here in the back. Pahutsky, and then we got Morales and Peterson. They're all lined up there. Hard racing all the way around. No one's really seemed to be... Maybe somebody has, but it looks like for the most part, well, Wagner probably has. He's the one that's kind of running away with things. But everyone seems to be racing everyone rather hard right now.
I think Forsythe is pushing Murphy farther and farther down turn 1 and 2 and trying to prevent the run there. He has a look on the left rear on the exit, but Murph gets a little tight in the middle of 3 and 4 and can't figure it out. But I think Forsythe is getting very privy to what Murphy's doing and trying to push him farther and farther down the track in turn 1 and 2, where it's a little flatter and it's a little more sketchy if you want to try and stick your car down there for a good exit.
Caution. And I think it might be, is it Morales?
It looks like he's Brubacher.
Uh-oh.
Tiny kiss to the wall from what I see, that I think he might be able to get away with that.
Oh, get loose coming off the corner. That's in 2. And then getting into the grass. And I think he should be okay, hopefully. But
yeah, just a touch there.
Yeah,
it's on the wheel itself, so if he could drive the car normally back to pit road or back, to catch the field again, he should be fine.
A very frustrating night already for JB, as now had an incident on pit road and then a spin there, but still a long ways to go. 34 of 175, as everyone is hitting pit road, except those that pitted early, and that's Teed and Peterson. They are staying out. They pitted on lap 18 last, so they are going for the track position. Of course, we do have the one fast repair. Pit road speed limit is, I think, 45 miles per hour. This is not exactly a 1 mile oval. This is actually a 1.058 mile oval. So even though at 175 laps, and the title of the race is the New Hampshire 175, we're going to give a little bonus racing today, a little extra 10 miles. 185.15 miles will be the actual race distance because of this kind of oddly numbered length of a track. I don't know what used to be here that caused it to be a 1.058, but it is what it is. But then again, the Milwaukee Mile is not exactly a mile. It's just over a mile. I think it's 1.015. So very few 1 mile ovals out there exactly. I think Dover is about one of the only ones that's exactly at a mile. Phoenix might still be exactly at a mile.
Okay, so you talk about Dover, but do they run the optimal line at Dover, or do they run the longest line possible that makes it possibly a little bit longer?
It depends on where they measure it. What it's measured by the sanctioning body. So I would assume NASCAR is measuring it from the bottom. I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's always by the sanctioning body that measures it.
You mentioned Milwaukee Mile, and the real life IndyCar is going back there this year for the first time in, 15, 18 years or something? So
yeah, it's been criminally too long, cool. Yeah.
I will hopefully attend this year, so that should be fun.
Big jump by Teed. Nice, excellent restart there. Coming back to green at lap 36.
Clean out the back, nice and single file for the top 10. I don't really see anyone threatening at the moment, but I think the guys that pitted probably will try and make their way forward with the guys that stayed out. Forsythe takes a peek underneath. Wagner couldn't get it done. Still getting his tires warmed up a little bit. But we'll wait about 2 or 3 laps, and I'm sure we'll see some battles starting to form.
The IndyCar has only raced at the Magic Mile 8 times. 4 with kart and 4 with IndyCar IRL. The kart track record is set in 95. We got this battle right here between Wagner and Forsythe. Andre Ribeiro with a speed of 177.436. That is still the track record to this day. And that was also the race he won, and it was Honda's first win in IndyCar. So that's what makes that win extremely important.
We have Charles Teed.
Yeah, watch him on the outside.
Looks like Peterson got a little held up, T got a little held up, and Forsythe and Wagner pounced on it. Couldn't quite get the move done, but Forsythe's not giving up on the inside of Teed. I think as long as Teed holds that outside line on both sides of the track, he should be good for now until the momentum swings back towards those guys with the warmer tires. So great job for those guys not getting into any incidents. Murph is now making his way up. He has found something in 3 and 4 that nobody else has found this race. So I think later on.
Wagner! What happened? That was an instant snap loose.
That was definitely some sort of internet.
Had to be net code or something. Wow.
That was not even close to being any incident there.
I just watched this. Let's clear off all the graphics. That was an instant snap loose, and I don't think that had to be just massive net code as he comes out. Watch the car react.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
100% internet connection issue there, and that's so sad for Matt Wagner, who is really making his way forward there. But luckily, as we've mentioned a few times, we have the fast repair, so Matt will be able to pit, get himself fixed up. I'm sure he's not going to be too fazed by the incident. He's learned quite a bit just sitting in the field here, so he'll be able to fix his car up and then go right back to where he was before. There's still 130 laps left, so just a bit of a fist pounder on the desk there, but he'll get back to it again.
Well, that's going to help Teed. He'll come to pit road. And then I think who didn't pit with them? That would have been Peterson. So I bet Teed and Peterson are coming. There they are. Yep. And
I'm seeing Forsythe also he has a wiggly front wheel. Teed hit the wall at a 2, and Forsythe spun out at the same time of that incident. So it was kind of a multi-car incident if we're looking at it. We were so focused on the Wagner incident, we didn't see what happened up at the front.
Let's go back and see if we can maybe see what happened. Okay, so we're going back a little bit further in time here. It's only pit stops are going on here, so nothing. We're not really. Let's see if we spot something.
His fast repair 100%. His car is completely banged up.
Yeah. Wow, fast repairs are being used up at a record pace. We're not even to lap 50 yet. So we'll check here. We're going, like I said, we're going a little bit further back in time to watch Forsythe, see if something earlier happened. Looks like everything clean on
It's the same time as the Wagner incident.
3 and 4. Down the front stretch, we see Murph on the inside of Wagner. Gonna take a peek to the inside of Teed. This is when we see Wagner immediately brake there. Yep. What happened? Oh! It looked to me that when he came off the power, the back end just kind of came right around.
You know, we were talking back at Gateway a few weeks ago about climbing the racetrack and getting loose with the right rear, but it seems like this track, with the way that the banking sort of settles back in again, there may be some sort of similar situation that we saw with looking back at the Yari Brubacher incident. These cars just get a little loose on the outside, so Teed kind of gets a little wide, touches the wall, Forsythe comes down, and he needs to use his fast repair as well.
A lot of different leaders now. Everyone up and down the order. Murph, Schaus, Cohn, Lovern, Rogers, your top 5. Murph bringing us back to green at lap 45.
Another clean restart by these guys, single file. Nothing really threatening at the moment, but as these cars get wound up, we'll see if some battles form.
There's Wagner
Peterson
working
on low line on 3 and 4. That's not really going to get you a lot of speed out of the corner. Forsythe makes the move, takes P8 from Eric Peterson.
Yeah, watch Wagner get around Morales. Or not. Yeah, that high line. I mean, when I was racing here in that Speedway Series in Lionheart, the High Line is where I did most of my business all day long. I mean, I passed up there for the most part, with the exception of, I think, that last caution we had, and the only time I really wanted to push on the car in front of me and to get that pass done. We all had fresh tires, and I could go down low, but I did a majority of my business all on the high side of that race.
The problem is, if you commit to it, you're going to burn off that right front tire and you're going to lose all sorts of turn-ins. So you kind of have to switch back and forth to going low, going high. But sometimes you can't do that if you're trying to fight clean air and trying to figure out where your car gets the most grip. That kind of goes out the window. So it'll work out for now for Eric Peterson.
Here comes Forsythe inside. 83-degree track temperature, 65. That's pretty typical New England weather.
No comment there, Gary.
Of course, this track not too far away from a very nice recreational Lake Winnipesaukee. They have a big bike week up there, and I think that's when the first a lot of the first IndyCar Loudon races would coincide with Bike Week.
Do you know on record how many times they raced here before CART was dissolved?
Yeah. So CART had 4 races here. And IndyCar IRL had 4 races here. And so, yeah, but Ribeiro won he has the fastest lap with CART, and he won that race in 95. The fastest race, the fastest lap here in the IRL was actually set with the old car by a friend of all, Richie Hearn. Forget about that, but he sat on the pole here for that Loudon 200, which was the first race of the 96-97 IRL season, the split year season. Because Tony George wanted to make the Indianapolis Motor Speedway the last race on the calendar. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. Ooh, we had a disappearance there. T disappeared. It hasn't come back yet. And he did the same thing before. I don't know where he's racing, but he could pop up anywhere around those guys. There he goes.
Hello, I'm here. It's very frustrating for Forsythe, who's been working on him for several laps now, especially because the guys ahead are all disappearing into the distance. And looks like Forsythe now is ahead of him until he disappears again, then appears 7 cars ahead. Oh, Matt Wagner is spinning out of turn 2.
And contact with and loses the that's going to be day done because he's already used the fast repair.
That's it for Matt Wagner. That's right. That's going to really hurt his championship scenario. If Eric Schaus is watching, all he needs to do is finish this race at this point. No caution though, which is interesting. These guys can keep racing under green flag conditions.
Yep, and that's just on the low side trying to pass, and that's where the car unloads itself, and that's a danger of running down there, and that's exactly what happened. Battle up front now between Murph and Schaus.
Take everything I said away. As Schaus is going for that win, he wants that championship lead. So just be careful, and if you're in that spot now that you know that Matt Wagner is not going to finish this race, just keep going and get yourself a nice top 3 finish, and you'll find yourself fruitful in the championship standings.
So there's never been in IndyCar history a repeat winner at Loudon. So in 8 races, there have been 8 different winners. Ray Hall, Nigel Mansell, Al Unser Jr., Andre Ribeiro, and those first races with kart. And then when the IRL came here, it was Scott Sharp, Robbie Buell, Tony Stewart, and Ryan Hunter-Ray. He won that last race. That's where we had where we've discovered the double flying.
Eric Peterson spinning turn 2.
Oh my goodness! Again,
he's got it going. Looks like it was kind of a lazy spin. He just tagged the wall on the exit. I think the right rear might be hurt, so you might see him coming down the road. Yep.
Yari barely misses it.
We stay green.
So yeah, I was getting ready to talk about the wildlife around the New Hampshire, Loudon in New Hampshire area. This was the rare sighting of the double willpower bird.
I watched it live, actually, Gary. Throw in there.
So you saw the sighting of the rare bird as well. Okay.
Yep. That race, I remember very clearly. I got there about an hour and a half before the IndyCar race. I watched Joseph Newgarden, current IndyCar driver, lap the entire Indy Lights field. So he won that race by over a lap on all of his competitors, and they decided to push the start of the IndyCar race up an hour because rain was threatening. So a lot of people left the stands. My friends and I moved to the front straightaway to watch what happened there. And Eric Peterson spinning again by pit entry. He keeps it going. He spun right by where I was sitting. So thank you, Eric, for alluding me right to my part of the story.
Tokyo Drift there.
Yeah, I think his car is hurt, Gary. I'm not sure.
And then there's
a car on
the cone and the same thing. So we're getting loose all in roughly the same spot. Corner exit. Back end comes around. And then smacks the wall, kisses the wall. So I wonder if that is enough damage to use the... We're making him turn around here, so it's not going to be enough damage to get the fast repair executed, or just possibly just stop on pit road and see what they can get repaired, and then try to go deeper into this race if it's not too damaged.
Yeah, I think the latter for that one, Gary.
Here comes around pit road. Yeah.
This turn 2 situation has become more of a problem than probably we predicted when watching practice tonight. So these cars are definitely wearing that right rear out a lot more than they thought. And they're either keeping the car too far low, or they're putting too much wheel in on an exit and not trusting themselves to reach out to the outside wall there.
So in that the IRL race that you were here, that was what? I think that was 2011, right? That was the last year.
2011, yep.
Yeah, that was the last year with the old cars before going to DW12. A lot of people were upset about going back racing late into that race because of the rain. Do you think that was the right or the wrong call at the time?
That was absolutely the wrong call. So to finish my story, rain started to fall around lap 80 or 90 of that race or so. It was a kind of like a misty, uncomfortable sort of rain that wet the track enough where they stayed under caution for about 15, 20 laps or so. They just kept going around under caution over and over again for about 7 to 10 minutes, and the rain kind of let up, and they decided to go back green again. Great decision. That last pit stop there where, they threw the yellow again for the rain, it was pouring. It was coming down heavily, so much that my friends and I were like, we got to go. Like it's coming down really heavy. So we ran down the bleachers, ran out the back and into the parking lot, And I got a call from my sister saying, "You didn't leave yet, did you?" I said, "Yeah, we're running to the car." "Well, they're going back green again." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's pouring rain out here." So I never actually saw the result but we ran up to the fence off turn 2, where these guys are going right now. And I saw on the back straightaway, I saw all the mayhem. So I didn't actually witness the double bird situation, but we saw it up on the jumbotron there, them chasing them there. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a big junk moment. So unfortunate that I remember that a lot of the drivers on the radio were screaming at Brian Barnhart at the time, saying, "You cannot go green. You cannot. This is not a racing situation." And sure enough, as you saw, the outcome. Unfortunately, I think that kind of ruined a lot of the chances for IndyCar to come back here, even though I think they put on an awesome show if they were to come back here. But if Milwaukee's a success, maybe they look back into this kind of short oval situation for these cars again.
Yeah, that's the thing. They want more ovals on the schedule. They just don't want to pack race. That seems to be the consensus of what's going on. And so they managed, while they were still at Texas, to get the cars working in a way that they could work in a pack, but they didn't work directly on top of one another, and they could separate. That you could use your skill to separate. And I think the reason why these cars do so well at Gateway is because of that as well. And I think the reason why they do so well at Iowa is because not only is they can handle that as well, but there's multiple lanes in Iowa that you could race in as well. There, that helps. Going back green. So I would like to see if they do well at Milwaukee to possibly come back here and add another oval to the schedule. If that means, I mean, I don't want to see them. Well, I'll take that back. I'd love to see them pack race again, but these guys don't want to pack race. That's the thing.
This kind of track does not induce any sort of pack racing. It's just
not these cars.
It's all a matter of what kind of different aero settings you can put on the car to make it an exciting race. And I think we saw what Iowa can produce, especially in the doubleheader, where there could be 2 weather situations on 2 different days. So they're trying that at Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee's doubleheader. Yeah,
they could definitely see what comes forward here. So we see Mark Cohn has made hay on the restart here. He's passed 2 cars. He's making his way back through the field again. I'm not sure if he uses fast repair or not, but his car looks pretty clean at the moment. So we could see how much farther up the field he can travel. I'm wondering if it's a little still too early to talk about fuel, Gary. So
no, never too early to talk about fuel.
Yeah, it could or could not be, but I think we're sitting in kind of one of those in-between windows right now. Everybody pitted on lap, what was that, 50-something, right?
Yes.
I believe,
let me look here. Everyone on 63. Everyone 63, on 63,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would leave about 112 laps. So I think that it's safe to do it on just one more stop. But it's all going to depend on how these cautions fall going from here. But I don't think this is going to turn into a fuel-safe situation. But on a track like this, it's very easy to fuel save, especially when you're kind of following a car and you want to pick your lane into both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Different to a 1.5 mile oval where you're kind of on the throttle more.
And there is the sighting of the double bird. I went ahead and found that on the internet real quick. That's the famous willpower double bird.
Yeah, and you can only imagine he was one of those people on the radio saying, "Do not go green. This is so unsafe."
He was not, and I remember a number of drivers not happy, one of which was Danica, and that was kind of the MO for her at the time, just never happy at anything, and she was not happy at that race for various reasons as well. So, yeah, and unfortunately that and the attendance, just they didn't come back. I'd like from very much the comeback. They're talking, though, and I heard rumors coming from the Speedway that IndyCar is looking at possibly a more dynamic schedule for 2026. Did you hear about that? About maybe some new things, something different things coming up on the 2026 schedule?
I have not heard that.
I heard that in a tweet and a news release, but no specifics were given in terms of what tracks or anything would be in the works. I would imagine that they're pretty close to firming up the 2025s. Gosh, we're back again, and here's Pahutsky sideways off the corner 2.
We know what this means.
Oh, and he dove in hard. If I remember right, that 2011 race, didn't that start off really slow, really bad with like a number of really weird incidents?
I believe Justin Wilson was
and
one that got
Castro
loose.
Neves is one of them as well, and that was a big dive in. That's a toe for Pahutsky. I think he should still have his pass repair. We'll see from his other spin, but we're back to being caution again.
Such a small field, we didn't expect this much drama, especially with the turn 2 situation, but I think these guys are dealing with different track conditions than they practice with, which could lead to a lot of uncertainty, especially when it comes to coming through turn 1 and 2, where they may have more grip before.
Warren Rogers is going to stay out.
We haven't talked much about Warren Rogers this race at all, but it seems, other than the incident with Gary Lovern and the first caution, it seems that he's kind of quietly crept his way towards the top part of this grid.
Yeah, I believe this is his first race in the series. I don't remember from earlier in the season. I will check Sim Racer Hub, see if he's been in the series before. But he's first race. Raced very cleanly, very smartly, and has worked his way up now into first place by virtue of staying out and grabbing some track position. In itself, not a bad idea.
Looks like he's maintained the lead also, so I think everybody's come down pit lane now, which answers any questions about fuel we have going forward here. So
all right, here he is.
I think these guys are going to be good to go to the end without any fuel saving situation at all. So as hard as they were racing in the last stint, I think we're going to see more of that.
He has 2 previous starts in the series, an average start of 7th, average finish of 16th. Completed 192 laps. Not sure what races he was in, but 2 previous starts in the series. So welcome back. Good to have you back. Always good to see guys that have not, guys or gals that have not been in the series for a while come on back and take some time. It was a busy day. I expected kind of the lineup to be slow today, or low today, because of qualifications that Indianapolis just ended not too long ago, and then of course. This is also the weekend that NASCAR has their All-Star race. I would imagine a number of people want to take that in as well. But a couple people maybe take an opportunity that while things are slow to join the lineup and get in here and get some laps in. And that's Warren Rogers. So we welcome him back to the series as he's now our leader. Teed, Schaus, Murphy, and Forsyth are the rest of the top 5. As I think you're going green next time by, possibly. Yep, lights are out on the pace car.
Lights are out, yep. Yeah, unfortunately, similar to Motegi a couple of races ago, this track does not seem to be a well-attended track by a lot of these guys for one reason or another. So, not surprised that we have a smaller field here tonight. This may not be a popular track for some of these guys to want to spend their money and haul their car out there to go to. So, unfortunate, but hey, we've had a lot of action so far, probably more than we bargained for. 12 cars on the grid, so a lot of cars kind of sliding, a lot of cars getting some bad exits on turn 2, turn 4. So we've had quite an exciting race thus far.
Here we come to green.
I can confirm Matt Wagner is now out of this race. He has not returned to the track, so that's really going to hurt his championship chances here. So Eric Schaus just has to finish this race, and he'll come out of here looking like a champ.
And next week, this is the last of the short ovals. Next week we go to Fontana, a big 2-mile super speedway. These cars race very well there. Of course, In real life, if you go back to the 2015 MAV 500 there, that's on YouTube. That was a crazy race, a great race. Drivers didn't like it much. Fans loved it. And it shows you kind of what these cars are capable of in a pack racing situation. And we're watching Schaus and Teed side by side through 3 and 4. And then we will go to Indianapolis to wrap up the season. But next week, or excuse me, the next race is not for a couple more weeks. Next week is, of course, Indianapolis 500. So a week from now, we will have an idea who won the race. We'll know who won the race.
We should probably heating up in this top 5 right now. Yeah. Charles T messed up turn 3 and 4 again. And, I mean,
oh, there's contact. And that was the net code and teed into the wall.
I was just watching that exit of turn 4 from Teed. I really wonder if Teed was trying to do a foreside and try and pinch Craig down towards the lower side of turn 1, and it just didn't work out. And unfortunately, it comes to blows, and we are under caution again. But I was gonna say I am just still completely mystified by how Murph is getting through turn 3 and 4. He is the man to beat, I believe. As soon as he gets himself out front, he will be unbeatable.
And we see Teed using the infield road course to get back to pit road.
I can't remember if Teed's used a fast repair or not.
We'll see if he hits pit road.
I don't believe he has.
Okay, we'll see what happens when he hits pit road.
He is crabbing down pit road at the moment, so let's see.
Well, they like their crabs in New Hampshire.
Really, really yummy crabs.
Mainly known for lobster, but they like their crabs as well. Poof. Seeing things get fixed.
He's sitting in his pit box.
So new nose.
Yeah, so this is not a fast repair. This is an actual repair. This is
and there's Warren hitting pit road there, as well as Brubacher. Joseph Morales, who is, I believe, not had to use a fast repair either. Also on pit road is Peterson as well. There he is, coming rolling off. So Schaus now is the leader still, with Murph second, Craig Forsyth third, Lovern and Cohn in fourth and fifth. I think Lovern is pretty clean and clear today. He hasn't used his fast repair as
no, he used his on the very first caution with Warren.
Oh, did he really? Okay, okay.
That incident in turn 3 and 4, yeah.
Okay.
I think the only car that might, or 2 cars that I know might be clean are Schaus and Murphy. I don't believe either car has used theirs yet.
I don't think Rogers has either.
Rogers may be another contender for no fast repair as of yet.
Yeah.
But I believe every other car on the grid, as I'm cycling through them right now, I believe has had an incident. Yeah, I don't think Schaus has wrecked anywhere yet, and I think Murph has also avoided everything. I mean, it's going to come down to, I think Murphy's the car to beat, hands down, if you were to ask me right now, about halfway through.
Yeah.
As long as he stays out of trouble, and if he gets that lead, it's game over. Teed's coming back down pit lane again, maybe some more repairs, or he may just be parking it.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's tracking right. Going up on the jacks. See what happens here, but lights should be going out on the pace car here relatively soon. I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and to subscribe and notify to the channel. I think before we go off the air, we'll give our Indy 500 predictions.
Oh, thanks for warning me so I can think about it a little bit.
I'll give you a couple picks.
Casey Podolsky comes in to top off. He's still 1 lap down, so hasn't gotten a lap back yet, but let's see if this may help him.
And Teed is rejoining after getting additional, possibly work done there. Let's ride along with T to see how he's tracking right now. Oh, yeah, look at that wheel. Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the end of the night for Teed. I believe he can't drive that car straight at all. So
green.
And we're going back to green. We're watching Teed in the back there. We just knew that wheel was going to be a little out of skew. But Schaus is your leader. Murphy second, Forsythe third, Lovern fourth, and Cone fifth.
I think it'll be very interesting to see how this top 5 starts out, because I think in order they're about at their ability level right now. With the maybe Murphy and Schaus are questionable, but I think this will string out for these top 5. I don't think you'll see much movement from how I'm seeing these guys drive tonight, but Warren Rogers may, on his fresh tires, be able to make some noise once he gets himself fully wound up.
Of course, Tony Stewart won here at IndyCar and NASCAR. This was one of his first NASCAR wins was here, as well as one of the first IndyCar wins. Could have been the site of his first IndyCar win. Could have been the site of the only win by the Menard engine back in '96 when they raced here. He had a 2-lap lead on the field. He was waxing the field, and as typical with those Menard engines, the Menard Buick engines, it grenaded on him within sight of the finish. And that turned the win over to Scott Sharp, driving for A.J. Foyt for Scott Sharp's first career win.
Mark Cohn takes 4th place from Gary Lovern. Very interesting battle there. I think Cohn is kind of come alive now. Based on what we saw earlier in the race, he was kind of just hanging out in the middle part of the top 10, wasn't making much noise, but he may have gotten some confidence playing around with some lines on the last stint there. And you're going to see him chase down Forsythe right here as opposed to get quite a bit.
And there we see Warren Rogers smacking the wall off of 2. So engage fast repair and next stop more likely.
Yep, so that's another one off the list. So now we're down to only 2 there that don't have a fast repair left. So unfortunate for Warren there, but he was putting up a really, really good battle there for his debut race back.
Caution, yellow flag.
What the heck happened? Oh, Brubacher just spins by himself coming off the corner and does a complete Danny Sullivan. And he's back underway. Doesn't look like he touched a thing. Check this out one more time. Just kind of coming. Let's even roll. We'll get in the cockpit with him. Just kind of comes around, turns into it a little bit, comes around for him, turns back into it. Oh, look, I'm pointed toward the right direction. Didn't touch a thing.
He told Casey Pahutsky, hold my beer. I am going to spin and win right now. You want to spin and win? I am going to do something a little bit better. So it's unfortunate that we have to have another caution because of this, but here we are.
Yeah, we are struggling with the cautions here, but here come takers to pit road. I really think, despite the giving up the track position, this might be the safe play is get new tires wherever you can. Morales, Brubacher, and Cohn coming to pit road. Yeah, I would be, and I'm more of a safe sim racer. I would be in there going for tires every single time, just seeing that what is unfolding with tires.
You never know when the last stop's going to be, so it's good to play this game for now, but these guys cannot make it to the end. So
no, they're still going to have to stop again, and everyone still has a not sure really what lap they can get to now. So we really haven't even considered this as a fuel mileage race. We've talked about fuel before, and we said it's never too early to talk about fuel, but we really haven't got into a good run where we've been on the track for 20 plus 30 plus laps. We're like, okay, well, we're now a good chunk into a stint. What's going on? We haven't got that far yet. We seem to be a good 10 laps or so, 15 laps or so, and back to a caution.
Yeah, I'm thinking around 15, maybe 17 or 18 laps for a decent fuel save to make it to the end. So if we can get past lap 1, I would say 16, 17, then I think we're good for making it to the end with an easy fuel save. Of course, when you pit here, you lose a lap and a half or so, so you only have to lose about a lap or so, and if you can hold on to it, then the fuel save is worth it. But it's very difficult to fuel save unless you're kind of around someone and battling someone where you can do a little bit of a feathering around the corners. But I'm sure someone's going to wind up doing it later on if it comes to that.
You enjoy RaceVerse coverage of the Dark Horse DW12 series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future iRacing broadcasts. Tonight's race coverage has been brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description. Getting ready to go green. We have a huge week coming up here on RaceVerse. So we have the ISRA Xfinity Series in Charlotte on Monday. Then we have our signature broadcast of the 8:15 IndyCar Oval Series Top Split at 8:15 p.m. at Texas on Tuesday. That's all times Eastern. Then we have the VOR DW12 Series this Friday. Clendy and me in the booth from Fontana. For a 3 p.m. matinee, and we wrap up the week with a huge one. IIS at Indianapolis, the iRacing or the IndyCar iRacing Series 500K at Indianapolis is the only race on the schedule for the IIS this season that's not 100% length, but they didn't want to run 100% because the next week everyone else is running 100% one more time, so they thought they'd give everyone a break. Going green, Schaus is our leader. So big week here. You plan on running on any of the Indy 500s that coming up, the officials?
Unfortunately, I will not be around, so I am out for this year.
A little bit of the dragon or the snake going down the front stretch with Schaus and Murphy. Well, then, while you're out and you want to watch a race, and I'm sure you're going to be busy. I think you told me what you're doing, so when you get a chance when you're on the airplane, because you'll be flying. Friday, the 31st, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will do what we're dubbing as the ultimate warm-up race. It's not going to be the big race that everyone wants to have televised or anything, but that will be later in the weekend for the open guys. But we'll kick them off with a race that they will undoubtedly use as a warm-up race for their big race later in the weekend. So we'll open that off 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday the 31st, and then June 1st, 5 p.m. Eastern will be our big race of the season when we will bring you the fixed series for the fixed, the Indy 500, fixed Indy 500. That will be again 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, June 1st. And we're dubbing that one back home again in Indiana after a year off, no official races. We get to come back and have official races and get some attention back from iRacing.
Battle for the lead really heating up now. Murph is found his way up to Schaus, and Murph is doing his normal turn 3 and 4 motion. He's got underneath Schaus.
Great pass.
I think Schaus leads this lap, but I think Murph is going to take this lead over.
And Cohn and Rogers was side by side for a bit too, and now we're starting to kind of stack up. As Mark getting a little loose off, and then if you stay too long down there, that's what happens. You get loose. So he's going to have to hit reset, try to get that momentum back up, get those tires cooled off. Lovern and Forsyth in the battle now. Now Lovern sticks back behind Forsyth. Watching Rogers and Cohn side by side, and we got 2 cars going on. 3 cars in the wall. Oh my goodness, I don't know where to start. Okay, Forsyth was one of them. And we see Cohn back there. Forsyth's in the inside wall. I think he's already used his. He's got at least a new front wing. And then Morales, I think, is now he went into the wall, unrelated. Maybe he saw the action in front of him and lit up and then that unloads the car mid-corner. I don't know. And he backs into the wall, loses the front rear wing, so that's going to be a fast repair if he hasn't used it already. So here we go again.
I think if you watch the Morales chase cam, it looks like synchronized swimming, just cars all spinning at the same time. It's pretty, it's incredible, honestly, how you watch these guys come through these corners as we see the leaders are pitting now.
Yeah, let's watch this from Joseph's point of view here. As he's going into the corner, we're going to see two cars spin out. We're going to see right in front of him, it'll be Craig. And Craig is 4 cars up. Maybe it's the next lap. But I got the telestrator here, so I can... so here's Cone right in front of him. He sees Cone. He definitely sees Cone go sideways. There's Craig right here and the light blue car. And let's see what he sees here that causes him to probably lift and unload the car.
I almost wonder.
No,
if,
I guess you didn't even really see anything.
I think Morales just kind of sent it too fast into the corner.
Yeah.
And couldn't react in time.
I couldn't even see around the corner. So yeah, it really wasn't a reaction thing.
But all 3 cars did kind of spin at the same time.
Yeah,
which
they did.
is pretty remarkable.
They did. And so the leader now is back to being Warren Rogers.
I think Warren Rogers is thinking strategy for fuel. It's still too early to make it on one more stop. So I think these guys that pit are hoping for more cautions that kind of increase their fuel mileage, which as this race has been going, it seems like that could be plausible.
Got Rafi Eckert in chat. Happy Rafi, good to see you. Maybe you're happy you're not in the lineup tonight. We got 12 starters tonight, 10 cars still running, a little Forsyth on pit road. No, he's rolling. How's he tracking? Not bad.
Forsyth has already used the fast repair, so I believe he's going to be struggling from here on out.
The Warren Rogers is our leader for the 2nd time today. Schaus is 2nd, Murph 3rd, Lovern 4th, Cone 5th. Right now, if everyone has an issue, they're guaranteed at least the top 10 finish.
You always love a good top 10 finish, no matter how many people.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And I think we're coming to green. A better front stretch shot here. Yep. Lights are out. Here we go. Coming to green. Back at 109.
Take a look at Eric Peterson in 6th place. He's had a couple of issues tonight, especially getting through some of these exits of turn 2 and turn 4, but he's managed to kind of hang in there and hang out in 6th place. And after a couple of rough weeks from Peterson, he's back in the mix again and back in the conversation, and I'm sure he's happy about that and the team.
And another pack back here. Pahutsky, Morales, Brubacher. Craig's in that one as well. I think everyone's just kind of riding back here now. They've already used up their fast repairs and just kind of cruising. Maybe give everyone a little extra room. Try to make it home now.
I think at this point, people have probably learned what you can and can't get away with in turn 2. So a lot of these guys, especially coming through 1 and 2, are probably going to be a little bit more careful and trying different lines to try and get more grip on the exit.
Schaus got a big arrow push. Had to do a lot of steering input to keep it off the wall that time.
But as I say, Mark Murphy finds a way to get just a sniff more of cleaner on his left front wing, and he manages to make it work down there in 3 and 4. So I think he's the one who's running 3 and 4 the best right now. So if he could find his way into second, we could see him do something, or he could just kind of hang out, play around with his lines a little bit more, and find more time once the tires start to wear out a bit more.
JB with the purple lap, 21.773. That was set a while ago. All these cars were a little bit newer. Forsythe down 2 laps, so he will be looking for some more cautions, maybe to get back on the lead lap.
Warren Rogers is definitely holding a good pace out here. He's not really holding anyone up, and he's not really in anyone's crosshairs right now. Schaus and Murph are both just kind of hanging out and biding their time and letting him wear his tires out, but he does have a little less fuel, which gives him a little bit more juice down the front and back straightaway. So he'll hold the lead for a bit longer. Once the tires start to wear out, we'll start to wonder exactly what his strategy is going to be. I think all these guys have to pit one more time. Yeah,
his last stop was 84. So he's 32 in the current stint, and to be honest, we're really not real sure on how far the actual tank will go. We haven't even seen anyone begin to flirt with it. Under normal circumstances, I would say this would be a 2-stopper. With a lot of caution, it could actually be a 1-stopper, really.
I think we might actually finally get a nice little green run out of here. People started to calm down a little bit. Only Murph is trying to harass Eric Schaus a little bit for second place, but he's not really trying to do anything too severe at the moment. He sees the leader is about 8 to 10 car lengths up ahead, so it's not really worth it unless he really, really wants to lead. So perhaps maybe he's in a fuel save mode for now to try and save a little bit of tire life and fuel as well. So his last stop may be a little bit shorter than the others, but I still think he's the strongest car here tonight. Gary Lovern's starting to fall off the back a little bit in P4, using up his tires a little bit. He's kind of playing around with his lines a little bit, I think. So he may be a little slower, only because he's exploring and trying to figure out what line works best for him. Looks like Murphy might have a run now out of 3 and 4 into 1 and 2. Oh, he's on the dangerous line out of turn 2. He holds it.
Oh, Murph all over the backside of Schaus. Look at that.
And the more these guys battle, the more Warren Rogers says, keep battling because I'm going to pull away. He hasn't pulled away too much yet, but if these two keep battling, it's not going to be even a question if Warren keeps the lead.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is RaceVerse coverage of the Dark Horse DW12 series coming to you from the Magic Mile, New Hampshire. We've completed 123 of a scheduled 175 laps. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow. Murph and me, Murph who's sitting in third, Murph and I will be bringing you Xfinity action from the ISRA. A lot of ex-Lionheart guys there. Xfinity action.
Contact.
Yes.
A little bit with Mark Cohn and Gary Lovern there. He slide jobbed Gary as best he could.
Oh, and Gary's nose is pretty scuffed up. I wonder if we can get a replay of that. Kind of going back a bit further than we need to, but
You don't see a lot of successful slide jobs here in the IndyCar. It's more of a NASCAR thing, but these guys were lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, you don't participate very much. Although I know there's a split named after you. I don't think you do much participation in the fixed series, but the Brazilians, I've coined something with the Brazilians and their style of racing with us, and it's called the Brazilian Clear, which is very similar to that.
Murph just tried it on Schaus for second place out of turn 4. There was contact there, but I believe Murph has a spot.
Yeah, Murph has the spot right now. And it is really tough to pass here without contact. In fact, one of my races that I got flagged for avoidable contact in the Speedway series was here. I came under Hugo Gallas, and he was taking a wide entry and cutting down and kind of cutting off my path. So I stuck my nose in there, and he came right down on me as predicted, and I spun him, and it fell to me as a penalty for the next race. But yeah, sometimes
Can you check out Eric Schaus's wing there?
And Morales around on the backstretch. He's back underway. Check out Schaus's wing.
Yeah, after that slide job from Murph, I see Schaus is starting to kind of drop back a little bit, and I'm wondering if he has any loss of downforce there.
I don't see the level of damage on his wing that I can see for Lovern's.
Yeah, that was kind of an awkward incident that Murph and Schaus had on the front straightaway there, but I think it looks like they're still going, which is good. But you see Murph is starting to close in on Warren Rogers, who is going to be pitting probably before these guys due to him staying out on the last pit stop, or last yellow flag. And again, Schaus just has to finish this race, knowing his competitor in the championship is out of this race. So as long as he finishes, I know it's infuriating losing the spot there, especially with a little bit of contact involved, but it's all about just finishing here and trying to get the best finish you can. But up ahead, Murph is definitely starting to show his hand on Rogers. Oh, and there he goes.
There he goes. And another car to the inside. That's Lovern. He's done. That's going to be a destroyed car. And Murph, he touched the wall. I don't know if there's a lot of damage there on the front of the car. He's going to definitely be a new wing. And we are still green. Oh.
Wow, it's incredible, these guys losing it off turn 2, and not just one at a time, but like simultaneously. These cars are just really on the razor's edge on the exit of turn 2 there.
I think 27 laps into the run, 2 cars at the same time.
Yeah, Gary Lovern is definitely done with this race. He's used his fast repair once already, so that's it for him. DNF for Gary, and Mark is still hanging on, but
and here comes Rogers for a scheduled stop. So it'll be green flag stop, so he needs to not speed
as well.
I would say this is his. If they go green from here on out, which we're asking an awful lot now, considering how much the issues we've seen of coming off of 2 and to a lesser extent 4, this is his final stop.
Yeah, Murph's in his pit box as well. He's not using a fast repair, which I find strange, unless he's used it already, but I don't believe he has.
New wing, so down and away.
Completely repaired now, so that's it for him. That's his final stop for the day. Yeah, he didn't use a fast repair because Warren beat him out of the pit lane. But we continue on here. It looks like Eric Schaus is now your leader. Still pulling away from Mark Cohn, I believe. That is how. Yeah, that's how it was before the pit stop as well, because it was Murph that Schaus had the incident with. I'm looking at Schaus's wing as well, and I don't see the amount of damage that you were looking at before either. Eric Peterson's on pit road. Routine pit stop, his last stop of the day. We only have about 37 laps or so left in this race. So this will be everybody's last stop. this point we're pretty spread out from top
36.
to bottom now.
36 laps.
We only have 9 cars left in the field, right?
Yeah, we got Schaus, Cohn, Pahutsky is now 3rd. Brubacher's 4th. Warren Rogers is 5th. Peterson 6th. Morales 7th. Murph's 8th. And Forsyth, who is running still, in 9th. 9 cars still running. 12 cars have entered. We have 4 cars, on the lead lap. It's Schaus, Cohn, Pahutsky, and Brubacher. That is your lead lap for some of cars. That's it, yeah.
Got Warren Rogers coming by Forsyth right now. Forsyth a couple laps down. Warren on fresh tires, so that's a pretty easy pass right there. I'm not sure if Warren is trying to catch. Let's take a look at Warren's lap times compared to Schaus.
Well, this time by Warren turned a 164.337, which is a 22.459, and Schaus is a 22.605.
So it looks like that Warren is actually running a little bit faster than Schaus at the moment, but if a caution were to come out right now, he is trapped a lap down. So Eric is going to run this as long as he possibly can.
But he would get the lucky dog here, because they have lucky dogs in this league, and he would get the wave around for to go back on the lead lap. So
right, but he'd be up. There's another car in the turn 2 wall,
and that is Morales, and he is a tow. So that is going to be now down to 8 cars still running. I don't see him getting repaired. Here, Schaus and Cohn side by side through 3 and 4. And Cohn has the position, but Schaus fighting back to the inside. Both these guys have won at least once already this year. Cohn up high, Schaus down low. Both these times, number of times we mixed up these cars, are very similar looking livery. And
right.
Cohn getting the pass. So Cohn, with already 2 wins this season, he won at Kentucky, and he won at Gateway. I guess if you're looking at one race that has a lot of similarities outside of Milwaukee to this racetrack, Gateway might be the next closest one.
The more these cars battle, the more Warren Rogers is eating away at their time.
And we are caution, and that is Mark Murphy.
So as we mentioned, Warren Rogers is trapped a lap down. So yeah, he may get the lucky dog, but he's not going to be able to pit at the exact same time as both Schaus and Cohn. So I think at this point we got Schaus and Cohn that are clear in the lead. And
Same
Warren
thing.
You
just look at all these. Just look at the skid marks off of 2.
It's incredible what we're seeing off turn 2 right now.
And here comes Cohn and Schaus coming to pit road. I would imagine Pahutsky's going to come with. Yep, and so is Brubacher. They're following each other there. Rogers stays out. So not only will he get the lucky dog, well, actually, I think the lucky dog might go to Forsyth now. Rogers is back on the lead lap, as well as Peterson's back on the lead lap. They'll get the wave around this time. It's really weird with the lucky dog on how that impacts. Someone's going to get a wave around, and then we're going to get to 2 because of the lucky dog, and then we're going to have everybody in front of the leaders, which here comes Cohn. So everybody in front of Cohn is going to get a wave around the pace car. Unless someone's coming to pit road this time by, we'll see. No, and everyone's staying out. And once again, tonight's race coverage has been brought to you by 4D Racewear. There's Rogers getting the wave around. I guess it's going to be the execution of the lucky dog there. Check out their made for sim racing line of gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description. Track cams provided by Whiplash Track Cams. They are the exclusive provider now to RaceVerse. Check them out on Twitter or on Facebook. Links are in the description. We're going to reset the field here as we're coming back to green momentarily. I believe the lights should go out this time by, and we'll see everyone get the wave around. Yep, there they are. So that's going to put Forsyth and Murphy now 1 lap down. So they could use another caution. Chances are we're going to see another caution. Just the way things have been kind of handling. I would imagine they'll take a look here at the setup for next season and maybe tweak on a little bit.
This Cone and Schaus battle is going to be very interesting how it continues on for the rest of this race. I believe that both of these cars have managed to battle their way towards the front, but can they hold the lead is the question.
And we're going to go green at 150, so 25 to go, and it's going to go by very quick if we do not go caution. So if we do go caution, this is going to be a little bit longer, but we will see here. There's going to the final 25 laps. Green flag in the air. Cone, great jump. Getting away from Schaus, going into 1. Bringing those new tires up to temperature. They're going to be a little sketch here the first lap, but as soon as they come up to temperature, he will be feeling pretty good for at least a while. Schaus getting a run, looking to the inside in 3. Sticking the nose there, not able to keep it there. And as they come off the corner, Cone is going to be your leader. In the back, we are 3 wide with Rogers in the middle. He does not want to be there. Peterson down low. Here comes Forsyth up high. He's, like I said, 1 lap down. Warren Rogers is in P5. Peterson has worked his way up to P6, the last car on the lead lap. Cone, Schaus, Pahutsky. Here's Pahutsky. We'll show him real quick. He is in 3rd, and Brubacher is in 4th. And so it's just amazing, Andrew, that we get to the end of the race, and here's Brubacher threatening for another podium again.
Yeah, you mentioned before he had that incident on the start of the race, and he's managed to claw his way back up front, just being careful and not getting himself into any trouble afterwards. And this is a typical JB race. He feels things out for a bit. He may go a little bit wild at the start, but he has to calm himself down,
yeah,
learn a bunch of the lines that he wants to take, and then he pounces at them. I remember Yauri and Casey are both of my quote-unquote spin and win contenders here, and they're sitting here fighting for a podium position. So
and Yauri's at the 3rd.
Casey's doing the undercut here, going to 3. He's going to let JB have it.
There we see best laps. JB with the purple lap of 169.5. We'll look at last lap speeds for a lot of these guys, see who's strong and who's... Cone, really fast, though. He's the only one at 168 neighborhood, and he's starting to pull away from Schaus, who is doing 166s. Same with Brubacher. The rest of the field kind of knocked it down a tick, although Murphy in 8th is also in the 166s. Disregard Morales' speed of a 226. That's not possible here. Just the different timing lines have been hit.
And this is going to be a job done for Eric Schaus. He's just ticking the box, trying to finish the race. He's now fallen about 1.1 seconds behind Eric Schaus. He's going to just hang here and collect his 2nd place finish and take the championship lead back from Matt Wagner.
Hey, if your guys are watching from home and you like this style of racing,
turn 2,
and that's Pahutsky. Ooh,
You were right, Gary. You said you were going to have another caution, and here maybe now you'll say no more cautions, and then we'll have a nice green run to the end. So I'll blame you for this one.
And yep, synchronized right off of 2 in the same spot. So I did the ERL Indy 500 with Mark Janes. I don't know if you heard that a couple of weeks ago, and he would talk about that no one in the booth would want to be that jinx, and if someone was the first to say the caution word or a yellow, I tried to hide it by saying FCY. Because no one knows FCY. No, you can't say that. They would mark down in their notebooks who said it, and then if it was jinxed, they would say, well, thanks to Davey Hamilton, he jinxed us.
I'm looking at everyone but Mark Cohn. Do what the leader doesn't.
Oh,
all these cars.
Well, Shao stayed out. Shao stayed out. Brubacher's coming in, so Brubacher's got nothing. He's going to do a full send on this one. Same thing with Rogers, and we got Peterson in there. Now, we think Peterson might be racing a little wounded. This might just be a good opportunity to get new tires to help a bad handling car handle a little bit better, although he does get out in front of, I think he did get out in front of Rogers. We'll see how they sort that out. So we'll reset the field at 160. So, yeah, James would say that they would mark down, who said it and when, and then when there was a caution, they would remind everybody of what lap it was said and who said it. So he always would say, it was Davey Hamilton at 60 laps or whatever that said that there was no caution, and now they have a caution. So I will try to remember that, but I tried to hide it by saying FCY, which is full course caution, or full course. Or FCW, or FCY, full course yellow. Yep. Anyways, Mark Cohn is going to stay out, as you mentioned. Schaus is too. Brubacher is going to have the new rubber, and he is lined up right with these guys. Warren Rogers is as well. Peterson is going to... I think Peterson is looking at possibly one of his best finishes of the season. I just didn't jinx him right there. He is currently 5th, a lap up on... nope, I think Pahutsky is coming out on the same lap, but he might be a little damaged. We'll see. Forsyth has worked his way back onto the lead lap, if you can believe it. And Murph is now 1 lap down. So if we get another caution and Murph gets back on the lead lap and then we go for fresh tires one more time, this whole top 8 is going to change once again. They're going to push so hard.
I was going to say, if we have a quick second before we go back green, if you could watch the spin from Pahutsky from Peterson's point of view, it's definitely a cockpit shot from Peterson.
So do I have time before we go green? I'm not going to have time before we go green because we're going to go a lap here.
Okay. I probably should have grabbed that before the pit stops, but I was looking forward to seeing what the pit stop situation was. So I'm surprised that Schaus didn't do the opposite, quote-unquote opposite of what Cohn does, because that's what you do in this situation, especially if you don't lose too many spots. You do what the leader doesn't. So put yourself on fresh tires. He would have come out second anyway because the car's behind him pit also. Yeah. So a missed opportunity there from Schaus. But again, Schaus just wants to finish this race, I'm pretty sure.
So coming to green at lap 162, Cohn, Schaus, Brubacher, Rogers, Peterson, your top 5.
And I think at this point, Schaus might be the only car without with still a faster pair in hand. I think everybody else has had some incident.
Green, green, green.
Warren Rogers flirting with that flat part of the track in turn 3 and 4 there. Didn't really work out for him. He did not get that spot on Yari. So Warren keeps his 4th place spot. Let's see if he could do a little bit better in 3 and 4 this time around.
Rogers is right on Brubacher. That was Peterson. Peterson's right in this battle too.
Yeah, and these guys have the new
I knew they had new tires. I thought maybe Peterson might be a little damaged, but showing the opposite at the moment.
It looks like these guys need to wind their tires up a little bit, put some heat into them before they can take the battle to Schaus and Cohn. Schaus has to be kind of quaking a little bit right now because it looks like both Yari and Warren are coming. Oh, Warren gets some dirty air there. That's a lift and almost hits the turn 2 wall, but makes it out of it. Doesn't look like these new tires are really doing it for these guys so far, unless they're still trying to figure it out. As you see Craig going to the inside of Eric Peterson, turn 1 and 2. Eric lets him by with almost a little touch on the wall there.
Forsyth up to 5th now.
And the more that Yari and Warren battle, that just gives Eric a little bit more leeway. And he doesn't have to worry so much about the fresh tires behind him because these guys are side by side. But you could see that Eric is really struggling. I don't know if he has some sort of damage from the incident with Murph earlier on that he just can't get up there and battle and keep the speed. But Craig is coming also. It looks like Warren gets a little high, touches the wall there. Craig's going to take P4.
Yeah, Yari right up in that lane right next to the wall. 8 to go, 7 to go, I think now.
That looked like a really great line for Yari to run there. I think he found something that he probably wasn't expecting. He's a little bit high in 2 there, but I think he's experimenting, and we have another caution.
Warren, this time, Warren's around, and I think, no, we're not going to end under caution, but let's see what happens to Warren here. I think more of the same.
That was more of you do not take the first lane. Turn 1 and 2. I think he went down.
Going down to the first lane.
He went down a little bit too low.
Yep, and that's what happens there. Yep. Don't think he did smack the wall pretty good.
Yeah, lane 1 works if you enter it late. If you don't enter it halfway through the corner where your car gets unsettled on the flat part of the track with the progressive banking, if you could turn down onto it and keep your car straight, it's usually pretty safe. But if you do what he did and he kind of tracks his way down there trying to find the shortest way around the track, that's not gonna end well for you.
And we hear some cars that'll line up.
I believe this puts Mark Murphy back on the lead lap.
It does. And there it is right there. He gets yeah.
Everybody is now on the lead lap except obviously Warren, depending on what his pit fix situation is.
And he's coming off pit road, and let's see looks like he's tracking straight. I think he got out in front of Murph, so Murph's going to have to get around him as they're coming to green.
Yeah, probably just a quick little fix. I don't think he hit the wall too hard. He had a little bit of right rear.
It's like 1 more to green here.
Right there. He may have hurt the side pod a tiny bit, which could hurt his speed, but sometimes a side pod hit is not as effective as a deficiency as somewhere like a Michigan or a faster oval.
Yeah, it's hitting the side pod at a faster oval is basically like pulling a parachute. Here the turns are long and the straights are not as long, so having a little bit of extra drag on the car necessarily isn't a bad thing.
Well, you said it right there. Sometimes hitting the wall puts a little more downforce, and if your car is lacking downforce, maybe that's actually more helpful. So
smack the wall a couple times.
It can't hurt. It can only help. That's all I got to say about that.
Ford to go, coming not coming to green this time. I thought we would come to green this time by. So it looks like we're going to do a natural green-white checker, because we will not go green at...
Yeah, if it's a green-white checker, it's going to be difficult, I think, because we haven't seen these guys really harass any car ahead of them until about 2 or 3 laps into the run. So some of these guys are going to have to try and predict when the start will be if they want to make up any more spots. So I don't know. I'm going to make a stake right here that Mark Cohn's your winner.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of the same thing. And nothing against Schaus and Brubacher. I think for maybe those guys back there, it's a little bit of an effort of drive to survive. And I think the guys behind him would very much like to also do the same drive to survive, but get up on the podium. I don't really see anyone touching Mark at this point. He's looking for his 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, but it could go the wrong way if you anticipate the wrong way. So let's watch and make sure that all 8 of these guys get going properly.
Green, green, green.
Looks pretty standard to me. I think Schaus got a little hiccup, so Yari might have something to say on the last lap, but I could see Mark driving this one right to the end with no mistakes.
Down the backstretch. Here's inside for Forsyth. If Mark gets this, 3rd win of the season, white flag in the air. Brubacher trying to get there. Craig
Yari didn't know what to do. He couldn't decide what lane he wanted to take, and Craig is all over him. Yep,
and Yari, and here comes Craig. But Cohn, with the 3rd win of the season, coming off of corner number 4, will move up to 4th, I believe 9th all-time in the series for wins. And Schaus finished 2nd, and I think Forsyth edged out JB for 3rd.
I'm a little confused. Like, Yari couldn't decide what side of the track he wanted to be on. I don't know if it was just nervousness or anticipation of what Craig was doing behind, but he easily had an over-under there that he could have taken from Schaus, and he decided to give him a break or couldn't figure out what he wanted to do.
So Craig manages to sneak home in 3rd there. That's a great recovery for him. And I imagine when we talk to all these guys that they are going to talk about a long day. And let's get final standings in here as well. Mark Cohn with his 3rd win of the season. Improved 4 spots, led 33 laps. 12 cautions for 44. Oof. That was a bit of a rough one, but we'll talk to the drivers to see what the problem was and see if there was a way to maybe fix it. Schaus finishes 2nd. That's going to help him in the points. Led 61 laps. Started right where he finished. Forsyth up 5 spots at the end there. Edges out Brubacher for 4th. Brubacher just misses another podium, but gets a solid top 5. Peterson in 5th. Rogers in 6th. I believe that might be his career best, according to the stats. We'll double check on that one. But Murph in 7th, who led 20 laps. Warren Rogers led 36. Pahutsky in 8th. Morales 9th. Lever in 10th. And Teed in 11th, led 7 laps. Wagner in 12th. Who led 18 laps. And that's going to be the painful one, because that's going to open up this championship a little bit wider with 2 rounds to go.
Always love a couple more cars in the fight, so we'll see what happens.
All right. And let's bring in Craig Forsyth here first. To the proper channels. There we go. If we got Craig, there's Craig. We'll bring him on down. Hey, Craig, got you in the booth with Gary and Andrew. Man, what a rough race out there. You edged out JB there for third at the end, but this is going to go down in the books for one that a lot of people just want to forget about.
Yeah, that was a terrible race on my part. That was I'm still trying to figure out what lap it was that I want to see me and Charles. I want to see how badly I killed him there. But I mean, even on lap 41, when Charles and I were first and second, and he hit the outside wall and I slid to the inside wall. It's just, it was the tires would overheat without warning. That was the problem.
Was there any way to combat that, or just not tackle the corners as hard and have to give up pace?
As long as you stayed on the outside and just kept running the outside line, it seemed to go fine. It was as soon as you started, the first two lanes are suicide anyway at this track. But anytime you were trying to be aggressive around anyone, it started heating up the tires really quick.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I was going to ask about what side of the track do you think you could set up the pass better? Do you think you could set it up down in turn 3 and 4, exit of 4 going into 1 and 2? Or did you try and just kind of ride the wall along the outside of 1 and 2 and see if you can maybe throw it up the inside for a slide job, which we saw a couple people do in that third and fourth stint there?
Yeah, the outside lane was that was my favorite place to go. Push around the people on the outside, because one, it was the safer route to go in the first place, and as well as that, you could push it harder just because it was the outside lane, as opposed to the inside lane was just dangerous. I don't know how many cautions did we have. It was
12.
It didn't take much for the car to just go on you.
12 for 44 laps is what we have.
Wow.
Well, another DW12 race, another podium for you, sir, here on RaceVerse. So congratulations. Go ahead and do your shout outs. Give your thanks to all your teammates, fans, sponsors, and I know you got to give some thanks for at least surviving this thing. So go right ahead. Once
I had the big crash and fell to the back, I was like, well, this race is over. So yeah, climbing back up and through was unexpected. So getting onto the podium even more, I'm wasn't sure I was even going to have a car coming out of pit lane. So to have a car that was still in good enough shape that I could battle, that was pretty crazy. But no, I've got to thank Jim and the whole 40 Racewear crew, and everyone at the Dark Horse Racing Series. I mean, we had a smaller turnout tonight. I assume that's because there's a NASCAR race on.
Yes.
You guys do the broadcast. I got to thank all of my viewers, because I just hit 100 subscribers, which is crazy for my live stream. And yeah, that's it. I as I said, I didn't, once we had the accident and we're 2 laps down, I did not expect to get back to the podium. So that is a whole bunch of just race and luck right there. So we will take it and run the heck away from this track, because it was scary.
I think that's probably 50 more subscribers after having them watch what you went through. You're going to get some more there, Craig.
It's never-ending enthusiasm. That's me.
If you're just out front all the time, it's boring.
Yeah,
so
that's for sure.
Exactly.
You need to give the subscribers something to watch for. So sometimes
how will Craig bottle this in the first half and then recover from it?
Exactly.
It's all about the lights.
All right, congratulations. Say hi to everyone on the stream for us, and we'll catch you at the next one, man.
You betcha, guys. Stay safe.
See ya.
Yep.
All right. Do we have a shout? Yes, we do have a shout. So we will bring him in here next. And bring him in. Hey, Eric, got you here with Andrew and Gary. As we kind of talked with Craig, man, that was a rough one. That was a rough one. But while it might not have been you didn't win the battle, you are better positioned to win the war here, because your chief rival in the points competition had a bad race. So this got to bode well for you, just to get across the finish line and finish this thing on a podium and try to almost get maximum points.
Yeah, when I saw Matt go out early, it had to kind of change my race strategy there. I was leading a lot of the laps, but once Mark got around me, it just wasn't worth trying to keep it flat through two. I just saw everything going off there, so I I was not committing coming out of 2, which was costing me, but it was keeping people behind me, but it wasn't enough to catch Mark. So today was just a try and keep it safe and keep it clean.
All right, Shouse, I'm going outside the boundaries here. I'm handing you a virtual tiara I want you to wear. You are the only car that did not use the fast repair tonight, which is something that I thought I'd never say in my life, racing with you for as long as I have. So congratulations on not crashing tonight and keeping your car clean. But the thing I have to say is that doing what you just said is you saw Wagner out of the race, so you changed your whole strategy. That was the actual point of what tonight was, right? You saw, okay, my competition's out of the race. I just have to finish the race. I don't need to go attack. Maybe I'll go attack a little bit here and there, but I don't have to actually get the race win tonight in order to get ahead in the standings.
Yeah, exactly. And I tried getting around a couple people, and I did at times, but it was dangerous. Everybody that came around me hit me, and everybody that I went around, I'm pretty sure I came close to clipping, and it wasn't worth the risk to try and make passes and to fight people.
Yep. So per my count, it was you and Murph that had the no fast repair situation, but you saw him spin off ahead of you, so that that left you as the only person that needed the clean car. So congratulations to you there, and it seems like you maximized tonight, and hopefully you learned a little bit about what it takes to just kind of maintain your spot in the championship and take this one home.
Yeah, well, after the last 2 races where I think Matt had errors in both, and then I followed him up with errors of my own. It cost me. I should be way ahead in the points right now, and I'm not, because I was racing for wins and not for the championship. And with only 2 races to go, I had to switch my mindset today and say, I'm close enough. This should be for the championship.
Well, here are the points. You might not be able to see them, but we will update you. You are the leader now by 17 points over Matt. 75 points ahead of JB, and 113 and 123 over Teed and Forsyth. So it looks like this is going to come down to, unless you and Wagner have a lot of bad luck next week, it's going to come down to you and Matt at Indianapolis, possibly for the championship. At the biggest race of the season, for the biggest prize of the season, for the biggest championship of the year. I would imagine, though, that next week it could be one of those interesting weeks where if we get a lot of participants, we always have the opening for the big one as a possibility next week. How is your style? Are you going to evaluate this a little bit more going as the week goes on, because we do have some time before the Fontana race? How is your race or your style at Fontana is going to be impacted by this? Is it going to be a safe race at Fontana, or just go for it and then see what happens and we just go to Indianapolis?
It depends on where Matt is.
Okay.
If Matt's in front, I'm going for it. If he's behind, I play it safe. So
fair enough. Well,
yeah, it's going to come down to the double points, like you said, at Indy. So.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what the big race there at Indy will be, the full length 500-mile, 200 laps. So shout outs, friends, families, sponsors for another podium finish here in the league, and back to the points lead.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for the broadcast, and thanks to Dark Horse for putting this on, and the admins. It's fun racing with all those guys. Thanks to anybody watching, and I appreciate it.
I'm going to need that tiara back, Eric. We don't have the broadcast on RaceVerse here to keep that, so I need it back.
Fair enough.
All right, congrats. We'll catch you at the next one in a couple weeks.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we will move him back into his channel, I think. We'll put him in the driver's meeting. I can't remember where he was. And so we get our winner, Mark Cohn. We can bring him down. There he is. Mark Cohn for the 3rd time this season, and believe it or not, it moves you to 8th all-time on the Dark Horse wins list with your 3rd win of the season. Congratulations, sir. Bit of a rough one out there. What'd you have to do to survive?
Oh, my word. That was probably one of my worst races ever. I self-spun earlier on, and I feel terrible for bringing out that yellow. I was trying to get on track and do anything but that, so my apologies. Almost spun 3 or 4 more times. I still don't know how I pulled that off.
Yeah, it was kind of a wild ride through turn 2. Did you have to try and find a different line each I guess successive lap as the tires wore? Did you find that you had to alter the exit to try and reduce the spin, or was the spin always there and it just didn't really seem to show its face till later in the stint, or how did you manage that?
So it seemed earlier on, like if you went around the third lane later in a run, it would spin you out. And then later in the race, I noticed on the 4th lane, it started getting loose there too. So eventually, Schaus and I were both running around the 5th lane in 1 and 2 to try and circumvent that. And that seemed to be the best option for a long run.
It seemed like the right rear tire was just kind of burning up more than the rest of the tires, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was close actually, because one run my right front was at 86%, my right rear was at 88. So
Jeez, okay.
I'm not sure what was causing that, but it seemed about even on that end. But yes, later in the run, just for some reason, the car would just snap, and it seemed to catch out a lot of people tonight.
Well, 3rd win of the season, and now you're kind of clinching into the top 5 here in the championship. Still a long ways to go, but double points in Indianapolis. Anything can really happen. Looks like it's going to be between the top 2, but I think the top 3 is still open for business, so there's a shot there for you. But we call you the Watchman because of you like your hobby of collecting watches, but when the Watchman wins, then it's time for shout-outs. And I know you have lots of them with all your sponsors, friends, and families, and also people that you're streaming to right now. So go right ahead, give them all the shout-outs. It is Watchman time.
Yes, thank you. First off, my team, Loud Pedal Motorsports. They're my brothers. They're my friends. They're amazing. And as far as sponsors, SimLab, they've been with me for a long time. Nizumi Studios, awesome watches there. Sam Maxwell Customs, Sim Racing Studio, Thumbs Up Cancer Down, DeWars Candies, Sam Maxwell Customs, Hans Wildork, Wrong Time Watch, Bobby Legs Loves Watches. Of course, thank you guys for these awesome broadcasts. It's always a pleasure watching them back after the races are done. And to everyone watching, this was a lot of fun. Hope you all had fun watching at home.
Well, congratulations, sir, and we will catch you next here in a couple weeks when we head to Fontana.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Now let's move him into, I think it was in general, so we'll put him there. There we go. All right. Looking in chat, Mike Rigney's there. By the way, I didn't ding you for that avoidable contact. He's talking to me. I had my wheel there. He came down on me, and I still got the AC. His spotter should have said, "There's a driver to your inside." I tried to appeal it. I was denied, but oh well. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. Final thoughts here at New Hampshire, other than kind of we're glad it's over and move on to a track that we know that these cars at least will race a little bit better at.
The only thing I think of is in our pre-race chat, we said, "Hey, there's only 12 cars here tonight. It'll be a quick one." Lots of green flag running, and it was like the complete opposite. So please don't ever say that again. Otherwise, I think we would have had a little bit more of an exciting strategy situation if these guys ran their full tank. So it's unfortunate that it happened how it happened, but I think the table's set for the last couple of races here. We have some guys that are hungry for some good finishes. And then we have the Eric Schauses out there that are like, okay, I just want points. And it could set up a whole dynamic going into the last 2 races here.
I don't blame him. Halfway through that race, I do not blame him for changing that strategy and not as attacking hard, but putting his car in a good position to win if something should happen in front of him, allowing himself to maximize points where he currently was sitting. probably was a good run. So, but man, I really wish I had the divine power to jinx these guys with this all that caution, because I really want the divine power to call what the Powerball number is so I can go send my wife out to buy a ticket for that right now. But not, I guess so. Before we go, you're an Indianapolis winner, sir.
Yes, I am, surprisingly enough.
No, but you're going to pick one?
They said you're an Indianapolis winner. I thought you were trying to tout my Lionheart Indianapolis.
No,
500.
well, you are Indianapolis winner, but pick your Indianapolis winner.
Oh man, jeez. I mean, like, Penske is very hard to deny right now. They've been so fast, but what do they have for the race? So the Honda car seemed a little bit slower in qualifying from what I saw. Again, I briefly was paying attention. I was away this weekend, so I kind of miss it. I think Honda may play in the race, so they may have a race setup going, and you can't deny Alex Palou, who has just been the fastest car at Indy the last couple of years during the race. He had that incident on pit lane last year that he dropped down into the 20s or so.
VK, yeah.
A top 8. So in the back of my mind, I know Palou is going to sneak his way into this race somewhere. So I'm just going to go with Palou from P16 or wherever he is.
I don't want Palou. All right, out of nowhere, I think when you least expect him, he's going to show up, and that's Dixon. When you expected him to win the race, he was up there and things happened. When you least expected him to win the race, bang, there he is. I go Dixon. Although, again, very much want to see Heel Newgarden just win the race, kind of rip open the driver's suit, have an NWO t-shirt on or something like that, and cut a heel promo.
Wow. Okay, that's a take right there.
Just cut a heel promo, say, I didn't cheat this time, but I still beat you all.
I just want to make one comment. I was talking to my dad this weekend. This seems to be one of these Indy 500s where we have this big disparity in ages. We have a lot of younger guys, but we have a lot of 40-plus-year-old guys racing this season. And for one of these guys, especially Helio, to make it five wins, or even Ed Carpenter to take his first, there's quite a few guys that are in this race like for their lifetime, as long as they get a ride. I would love to see someone in the millennial Gen X region to get their win waiting so long for. So I'm actually kind of almost rooting for Marco Andretti a little bit. This is his best qualifying in a while, and he always seems to find himself in the mix with a nice strategy. So maybe Marco does something.
Yeah, he's actually finished on the lead lap and completed the 500 miles twice as many times as his father and his grandfather combined. He's actually that good, and in terms of most podiums and top 5 finishes, he's also beat his father and his grandfather as well. So yeah, I would not rule out Marco as well, or one of the previous past winners. Sato's fast, Ryan Hunter-Reay's fast.
40-plus guys.
Yeah, and then you have Helio there that's still got the speed for 5. And will we ever see a 5-time winner in a lifetime? I don't know, but there you go. So there's our picks. We'll find out in a week how well we did as the Indianapolis 500 will be a week from today. I do want to thank everyone for joining us. That's it once again for tonight. Your podium from New Hampshire is our Marcone with his 3rd win of the season. Eric Schaus with the P2 moves himself into the points lead, and Craig Forsyth with another podium to round out the top 3. Join Andrew and myself again June 9th for round 11 of the Dark Horse DW12 series as the teams of drivers head to the world's fastest speedway. No, not Talladega. It's California. You forget about that one. It's in Fontana. That's right, California Speedway. Coverage begins around 8 p.m. Don't forget, that's 8:00 p.m. Eastern. And as always, you can find everything you need right here at youtube.com/RaceVerse. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support RaceVerse with the weekly grind. If you'd like tonight, or if you like the action you saw today, please leave a comment below. And I want to thank everyone that shouted out in chat. We appreciate you. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more RaceVerse other iRacing programming, including the big one of the week for us, really. It's going to be the IIS here Saturday, 2 p.m., as the IIS does 500 miles at Indianapolis for this week. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing RaceVerse. We know what Indy means. Dark Horse DW12 series is helped brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on their link in the description. Track cams provided today exclusively by Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, follow them on Twitter or at Facebook. The link is in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about what we do at RaceVerse, visit raceverse.com. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. So, for the Catalyst Andrew Wood, I'm Gary Gazzo. And everyone else at RaceVerse, I'm saying to all, happy Indy 500 Pole Day. Hope you guys had a get your fill today watching your racing. Thanks for watching us later. And to all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, come home safe. Catch us again right here June 9th in Fontana for the next race of the Dark Horse DW12 Series. Good night.